The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. If you're a sensitive snowflake that may get easily offended, then turn this off immediately. If you want to hear the real truth about the gun culture, then stick around. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast.
What is going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 259. Today's date is Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. We are live as always on YouTube and over on Facebook. So if you're out there in the live chat, go ahead and say something. We do not know that you're out there unless you do. If you're new to the channel, new to the show, well, you probably should just turn it right now. Just don't go down this rabbit hole. It's probably not worth wasting your time. But if you choose to stick around, welcome to the dark side. Let us know that you're out there and that you're a newbie. And we won't give you too much shit, but we will definitely pop your cherry just a little bit. If you want to call or text in the show, yes, you can call and text the show. Utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates over at Aegis Gun Care. That phone number is 530-364-4678. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in the darkness and you can't find that light, or you're looking for that light, maybe you're questioning if there's still light out there, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I could be a pretty decent ear and maybe talk you through some stuff. If you are looking to get to someone that could get you some attention medically and get you some help, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And number two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please, please, please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline. 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. The Veteran Crisis Hotline. We are spotlighting, as always, the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And as always, we're a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Check out all your favorite pro-gun, pro-2A podcasts over at selfdefenseradio.net. So let's get this off of my ugly mug and welcome some of our buddies in here to maybe pass the time, have a good conversation, and see where this fiasco goes. From the, well, I guess it's a great state. I mean, he'll tell us if it is. I hear people talking about like it's a great state. I've been there a bunch. I enjoy visiting, but from EAA and well, he might not be representing EAA tonight. He might just be Chase having fun. What's up, Chase? How you doing?
What's up, everybody? Doing good.
I mean, I guess you're always representing EAA, but you're not necessarily here to EAA capacity. You know, for sure. Obviously, we'll talk about EAA, but
I mean, I always spread a good word, but I enjoy it all.
We know you do. And I can confirm this from the great state of Texas. The leader of the Leprechauns, the master and the holder of the gold ammo, and the King Fudd, or Chase, do we change him from King Fudd to Super Fudd? I can't remember. Do we make that official or not yet?
Oh yeah, he's officially Super Fudd now.
Okay, he's officially Super Fudd. Clover Tack, what's up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard Florida's racist, but I don't remember where I heard that.
I hear they're shipping people to Martha's Vineyard. I heard he's shipping people up to Martha's Vineyard right now.
Something like that. He was just kidnapping illegals or something down there. I don't know what was up. Yep. Crazy.
It is. I saw the best thing about that today. Like, I died laughing. I don't know if you know who the comedian Tom Dillon is or not.
No,
But Tom
Dillon, I might if I see him. I know a lot of the comedians, but I just don't know some of their names, you know.
He had the best reaction to that. Because he's doing everybody disservice because he's shipping them up there in the off season.
Not when they need them.
Labor Day.
Yeah, they need them. They need them at different times of the year, just not now. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I saw that, and people are they're just losing their shit. And he was like, "They're gonna be treated better. Like, what do you want from me? You know?" Oh
Just
well,
spreading the love, man. Spreading the love.
just spreading the love. I know Abbott sent a bunch like about a month or two ago, didn't he, Clover, up to like New York or Boston or something like that?
They're on a revolving bus schedule around here, man. Texas ain't playing. But you know, here's what's jacked up, right? So Abbott can send busloads to here, there, and yonder, and it's the end of the world. But the mayor of El Paso, who is a Democrat, can send them here, there, and yonder, and nobody says a word.
Of course not. I mean, things that make what is that? What was that? Arsenio Hall. Things that make you go, Yeah, exactly. Judas Priest out there says, "I'm new here. Hey, Clover and Ghost." Judas.
Judas ain't new. He may be new here, but he ain't new. Don't let him fool you.
I think he might be new to the show. Maybe to the live or something. But yeah, you can't forget Judas Priest. I mean, good Lord, you know. So yeah,
breaking the law, breaking the law.
I was going to say breaking the law, but I didn't. I didn't want to embarrass anybody with my singing voice.
Shall not comply, baby. That's the anthem for "Shall Not Comply," right?
Breaking the law. More importantly, it was the anthem for Beavis and Butthead for a while, and that was just perfect. I mean, people don't realize how good Beavis and Butthead was.
You watched the reboot?
I haven't decided if I'm going to yet or not. I've heard good and bad, but I to me, like a whole Beavis and Butthead sacred. I smoked a lot of weed watching Beavis and Butthead. It brings back fond memories, and I don't want to be disappointed. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense or not. I'm be disappointed.
And I don't think you can have Beavis and Butthead like we experienced it, because back in the day, MTV was actually MTV. And so like I was more entertained. I mean, don't get me wrong, the storylines were funny and all too. But I was more entertained when they made fun of videos and stuff than, you know what I mean, when they were watching TV, and oh my God, it was wonderful.
Yeah. Now Buck's out there getting ready to start shit real quick, Chase, before you go in there. He's ready to start shit up in the chat right now. This chat will be short. Everybody knows that Canic is the best. Man, I mean, I love me some Canic. We'll get into this. I don't think it's reached that level yet of the best handgun ever, but we'll see. What were you going to say, Chase?
I was just going to say on the Beavis and Butthead thing, I'm the same way. I don't know if I want to watch it or not still, just because the memories of watching the original, and like Clover saying, that was one of the best parts was the reactions to the videos. I mean, that was classic, and I don't want it to be ruined for me.
Absolutely. Most, like my daughter, she's 25. She doesn't remember an MTV that played videos. She doesn't remember an MTV that had Yo MTV Raps. She doesn't know or remember MTV that actually was a power. And I mean, they were a true power in cable TV. I mean, MTV had a lot of clout, a lot of power. They were innovative back in the day. And she doesn't remember the first Real World, which was truly the first. Let's be honest. It was the very first reality TV,
Headbangers Ball, man. Headbangers Ball.
Headbangers Ball. You had Headbangers Ball. You had Yo MTV Raps. You had, I mean, it was great. And there were so many bands in the 80s and 90s that you never would have heard of if it wasn't for MTV, because they played the obscure song that had a cool little video or whatever. MTV made people famous. Their music might have been crap, but if they had a really good video, they could be really, really famous, because MTV would. Do you guys remember the song back in the 90s?
Yeah,
absolutely. That was the worst song ever, but they had a funny video and it just went bananas. Like, that song should have never been a hit. It should have never been a hit. MTV made it a hit. The radio didn't. MTV did.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many good times on MTV back in the day. I mean, you think about if they still did Unplugged now.
Oh, Unplugged today would be great.
Or, you know, MTV used to take over Spring Break. We all remember that. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know,
So,
what was it say, like late 90s TRL? They owned like 2 or 3 hours of TV. Like everybody watched TRL back in the day.
Yep. So, I mean, Unplugged, man, I was just thinking, like, what was the best Unplugged? I don't know if you could truly say what the best was. Nirvana's got to be up there with the best. I'd say it was a great Unplugged. And I don't know if you guys are fans of them, but I'm a huge fan of The Cure. And The Cure Unplugged was phenomenal. Robert Smith's voice was like perfect that night. It was a great Unplugged. Obviously you have, Clapton's Unplugged was pretty phenomenal, but I might say that Nirvana Unplugged might have been the best. For me, it was because that was my favorite album of theirs, was the Unplugged album or CD, whatever you want to call it back in the day. They did a bunch of Bowie songs and all sorts of stuff. But like, I mean, we're going to not do a poll out there, but and Snob says CMT. CMT now is better than MTV. And I don't even know if CMT's out there anymore, but if it is, it's definitely better than MTV. But Clover, do you have a favorite? Do you remember the Unplugged? I mean, was there one that kind of like stood out in your mind? It was, man, that was awesome.
Nirvana's pretty good. I really like REO Speedwagon was pretty good, but they're already kind of folksy, so it just kind of fit with them. Poison, the Poison was not bad.
I guess I never saw the Poison. I bet you that would be pretty good. I don't remember. If I did, I don't remember seeing Poison. Remember, there was a 5-year gap in there that I was gone, that in the mid 90s, unfortunately, that's probably when a lot of that happened. So I don't remember seeing a lot of them. Chase, do you remember any of the Unplugged that you look at and say, man, that's the one right there?
I mean, I remember watching a bunch, and like now, the dawn of YouTube, obviously, I've gone back and watched a bunch of them again.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, everybody talks about Nirvana, and I do really enjoy the Nirvana Unplugged, but personally, Alice in Chains had the best.
I almost said Alice in Chains, and that one was phenomenal. People don't realize how good they were live either. I mean, they were, a lot of bands are good live, but like you're almost a little disappointed live versus, their CDs or whatever. I saw Alice in Chains in 1991 in Dallas, 92, and they were better than the album. I mean, hands down better. Like, man, they were good. Yeah, Alice in Chains was a great one. Yeah, I almost said that one too.
Snob out there bringing up CMT is a great one from CMT. Is Crossroads.
Yeah, Crossroads was really good.
Yeah,
man.
Crossroads was good.
Yeah. There was a thing, and I don't know if it was CMT or who did it, and it came out a couple years ago. Now, I want to preface this by saying I offend anybody if you don't know who this is. If you've never heard of this man, please, like, people our age know him. If you're young and you've never listened to this man, just go to YouTube. And it was, I don't know if it was Crossroads or what, but it was Bob Seger and Jason Aldean. And they just sat there and talked. And they did a bunch of Bob Seger songs, but I could listen to Bob Seger's voice. To this day, he still, it's amazing. But that was it was Jason Aldean and Bob Seger. And it was a pretty good, it was a couple of years ago. I don't know if it was Crossroads or what it was, but that was a really cool one. I'll tell you another one that I really liked, and it wasn't a concert. It was VH1's Behind the Music back in the day. Those were pretty cool. I really enjoyed the old Behind the Music stuff.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
All the VH1 stuff too back then.
Mm-hmm. All right. Wow. All right. Clover, before we could stay on music forever. Clover, before we get going, shotgun of the week.
Well, not really a shotgun, but since we're talking handguns,
okay. All right.
Taurus Judge.
I was going to say, you're going to say the Judge, aren't you? And my God, I swear to God, if he's not here by now, he will be. Rich White hears Judge, and he almost like has an orgasm. So I'm sure he'll be here soon. I think that's his favorite firearm of all time. At least he talks about it enough.
Yeah, here's one for Clover. Judge.
Oh, pop-up video.
Governor.
Hell yeah. Oh, the governor. Ooh, judge or governor. Yeah.
Judge. I prefer the judge.
Okay. Now, the judge is is it 410 or what? Is it a 410?
I don't care for either one. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a fan of either one of them. But if I had to pick, I'd pick a judge.
Yeah, 45
Is
Colt.
it judge? Okay. I thought so. That'd be fun. I think that'd be fun as hell to shoot. I've never shot one. Actually, I've never shot a judge, and I think it'd be fun to shoot, but I don't know if I'd ever own one. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if I'd.
He's never shot the judge handgun. People, so what do you think?
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the judge. All right, that's bad. Yes, I know. All right, all right. Before we get kicked off,
the governor. You shot the governor, but you didn't shoot the judge.
I would shoot the governor. He's a friend of mine. All right, you're right. How much does a judge cost? I've got some crimes I can get away with, right? All right. All right. As you guys know, every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday over in our YouTube community tab, we put out the Ghost Tactical polls, and we have a little fun with them. So let's go check out this week's versions of them. First one was last Thursday. It's got 1.2 thousand votes. Of these, this is something that I don't think that our average listener. Now, I love you guys, and maybe it's because I'm not very smart and you're just following the lead. But I'm starting to question you guys' intelligence, because every week I put of these, blah, 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 and I'll have 10, 15, 20 comments stating something else. And I say, guys, it says of these. I'm not saying that these are the best or whatever. I'm just saying of these, what is the best? And I'll get so I'm starting to questioning a little bit of your intelligence. Just saying. All right. Of these, what is the best TV series? West Wing, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Yellowstone, or Sons of Anarchy? Clover, of those, which one's your favorite? Or do you have a favorite of those?
I'm not a fan of any of them, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I'd probably say
you're more of a Care Bears guy. I forgot.
Yeah, more sci-fi-ish and that sort of thing, honestly.
Yeah. Catch it.
But yeah, I would say probably West Wing. Probably West Wing.
West Wing's such a good show. If you like politics, here's the thing about West Wing, and let me tell me what you think, Chloe, because take the politics out. It's a very liberal, political, leaning politics in the show, but it shows you some of the back door of how politics work, especially at the executive level in Washington.
Yeah. I think it's exaggerated a bit, but it has to be.
It is. Oh yeah, but they have to. But I think it does give people an idea. I think that it brings the curtain back enough to people say, oh, if it's anywhere like that, that's not at all how I thought things worked. I mean, I had no idea that that's how it all worked. And West Wing's one of my favorite shows. Actually, these 4 of these are my favorite shows of all time. I have never seen an episode of Breaking Bad, but I put that in there because everyone talks about how good Breaking Bad is. And I've never seen an episode. And that might be something that I stream a little bit this wintertime when I've got some time. I've never seen one episode of Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, which I think is like a prequel or something. I don't know. But yeah, West Wing is a great one. But here's the thing, this is going to sound weird, but I think you have to be a little bit intelligent to follow that show, because it moves quickly and it moves in a lot of different moving parts in different directions. So a lot of people might get bored with it or not like it and all that. If you give it some time, it's a great show. It's a phenomenal show. So I don't disagree with West Wing. Like I said, 4 of these 5 are my favorite shows. The 5th one I've never seen an episode of. So Chase, what about you? Of these, West Wing, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Yellowstone, and the Sons of Anarchy, do you have a favorite of those?
I mean, of those shows.
And don't be a bitch.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Of those, not particularly. And I mean, I'm kind of like Clover. I haven't even watched most of them. And people are like, oh my God, have you not watched Yellowstone? I just don't care.
Right.
Honestly, probably West Wing. I haven't finished it, but that's the show I got into more than I did.
Yeah.
Like Sons of Anarchy, I watched like the first season, and then it just kind of got boring fast for me.
The first 3 seasons aren't bad, and then it just gets kind of strange. Game of Thrones was great. There were some slow parts of Game of Thrones. Yellowstone, I really enjoy. I really do enjoy Yellowstone. It's pretty good. Snob outstairs, he boycotted the poll. No Saved by the Bell. That's fair. I was thinking about Saved by the Bell, 90210, Melrose Place, but like most of the people out there don't know what those are. Screech might be one of the best characters ever on TV. I mean, he's great.
Yeah, I recently rewatched Saved by the Bell.
I'm sorry. Was it just as bad now as it was then?
Over the course, over the course of the last year or so, it's like how was that such a phenomenon, right? Didn't age well at all. But one thing is, even as bad as it was, I don't think anybody realizes how horrible the first season was. Oh my God, how it got picked up for multiple seasons after that first season. I don't know. When I rewatched
is that before Zach was Zach not even on the first couple episodes?
He was. Him and Lisa was.
Okay.
They didn't have Slater.
Slater hadn't moved in yet, I guess.
And they didn't have Kelly. Screech was there. Yeah, and it was.
Yeah, I always thought that Lisa was the hottest of all 3 of them.
The Parent Trap chick, the original Parent Trap chick. Can't think. She also played. I want to say she played Helen Keller, didn't she? Also, back when she was a kid. Yeah, I think so.
I think she played Helen Keller. I know who you're talking about.
Somebody remember her name? I can't remember. But anyway, she's like the main. That's what was weird about that first season. She was like the main character. It was not about the kids, which was just jacked up. It was like, this is weird. I don't remember this.
Patty Duke, was that her?
No.
No, okay. So Patty Duke. Okay, so that's not all right. So, Parent.
I can't remember it. Dang it.
Actress, like 60s. I'm not going to put the 90s. 60s. Haley Mills.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, Snob wants to know why you rewatched that. I'm not going to lie. During COVID, a little bit, I started watching. They had like a 90210 like reboot a couple years ago. Do y'all remember that? And it was bad. It was terrible. Bad.
Like my wife binged the original, then watched that crap.
I didn't binge before. I watched that. It was so bad that I went back because I mean, that was like right when I was in high school and all that. So like I went back and watched 90210 for a little bit, and I realized like, why the fuck did I watch that? I don't know. I
never was a big fan of that. Now my wife was really big into Dawson's Creek.
I never did like Dawson's Creek. Yeah, I never watched that.
Either. Nope.
I never understood that one.
It's soap operas for teenagers. Like, why would anybody want to go watch that?
Right. Clover, you might be interested. Wes says he's got some 90210 trading cards somewhere.
Pretty cool.
That might be something you might have to add to the card channel.
Right. Back find some. Yeah.
G23 says, who remembers Party of Five? I remember Party of Five. I don't think I ever watched it. Was that the one with Neve Campbell in it that made her famous, or was that something else? The girl from Scream? I remember Party of Five, but I don't remember.
I know that
it was.
I know that hit, and you had 90210, and you had One Tree Hill, and you had Party of Five.
Yeah.
Melrose. Yep. You had so many, right? They all tried to, they do one and it's moderately successful, and then they try to do a bunch of other things similar. And that also is when you started having cable TV and stuff started expanding around that time. And that's when you started having
Fox became like Fox had like the fourth, became the fourth network. Before that it was only 3.
Yep.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. So that's what made Jennifer Love Hewitt famous, was Party of Five. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Yeah, she was pretty smoking when she was younger. What was that movie she was in? I Know What You Did Last Summer. That was pretty good. That was kind of like a spin-off of Scream. It was like not a spin-off, but in this, I remember Scream when it came out. I was stationed out at Pendleton. We all went to it, and we all left going, "That was pretty badass." It was like different than any other like horror movie
funny.
you saw.
It was funny.
It was funny. Yeah, it was. It was great. And then I Know What You Did Last Summer came out, and I was like, man, that's pretty good too. Like, that's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. All right. 1.2 thousand votes. 42% say Breaking Bad. 22% say Game of Thrones. 20% say Yellowstone. 15% say Sons of Anarchy. And coming in dead ass last at 2% is West Wing. The one show that I have not ever watched just destroys the field. So go figure. It is what it is. Our second poll question was on Saturday. 1.6 thousand votes. Of these 80s classics, what's your favorite? Breakfast Club, Indiana Jones, Top Gun, or Ghostbusters? Chase, of those, do you have anything?
Freaking Top Gun. How can you not?
That's fair.
I mean, the rest aren't bad. Don't get me wrong.
They're all great. They're all great in their own way.
Movies, but
yeah,
come on, Top Gun. Top Gun. It's in a different level of the '80s ridiculousness.
Yeah. Before we move on to Clover, I have a comment that I want to read. I'm going to say it. This is by Raphael. I don't know who Raphael is, but 2 days ago. I'm going to say it. I never seen Top Gun till this year, and after watching it, I don't understand the hype. It was overrated to me, and I don't get how it's going to be considered the best movie ever made. Well, first of all, I never said this is the best movie ever made. I said, what's your favorite of these 80s classics? Second of all, you shut your mouth, sir. Raphael, you don't come into this place and say that Top Gun's not a good movie. You're in the wrong place, sir. Top Gun. There's a lot of Die Hard and Lethal Weapon write-in votes. So Die Hard could have been on that list, and Lethal Weapon could have been on that list. There's so many great 80s, and maybe it's just because we were all in that age group. There were so many amazing. E.T. wasn't even on that list, but there are some great movies in the 80s.
So Top Gun,
yeah,
gets his butt wiped, or his butt wiped compared to Maverick. I'm talking about for Maverick.
Oh, Maverick! 100%.
That very rarely does a sequel just absolutely blow an original out of the water, and it is not even a contest.
No, Top Gun Maverick is truly a phenomenal movie, and it's not like it's a great action movie. Or it's unreal. It'll probably go down. It's
broke records, so it's not. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And the stuff that they do for the aerospace and airplanes will never be done again. That movie will be the greatest airplane movie ever, hands down. Now G23 says Jessica Alba and Dark Angel. I want to say this: Jessica Alba in anything. So my there are three my three favorite actresses, and it's just one of those things where my wife knows it, she understands it, and she can't do anything about it, so she just accepts it. There are three that I just have enormous crushes on. Jessica Alba is one of them. She's one of them for sure. Emily Blunt, and I don't know if you guys know who Emily Blunt is. For some reason, she to me, she's drop dead gorgeous, but she's also got a great personality. She's amazing. And then Mila Kunis might be my favorite. I have a huge crush on on all three of those. There's something about Emily Blunt, Mila Kunis, and Jessica Alba. Thank you for making those three beautiful creatures in this world. Anyways, so what about you, Clover? Of those four, do you have a favorite of those?
So you're gonna call?
Okay, so you're a Ghostbuster guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
I think.
Yeah, it's just, and not that Top Gun is bad, but Top Gun is
Yeah,
dark
no, I hear you.
in a way. Top Gun is also a little. It's just a little weird. There's some weird stuff in Top Gun that you don't see until later on.
It's a little homoerotic
Ghostbusters,
for Clover.
Ghost Bill freaking Murray, dude, like Bill freaking Murray, like in
All right,
prime, in his prime.
in his prime,
Harold
100%.
Ramis, all it. I mean, like, just
So here's my
Sigourney
only
Weaver.
issue.
Who's the little
Sigourney
guy?
Weaver, the guy with the glasses that turns into the thing.
Dang it, Rick Moranis.
Rick
Yeah, I mean,
Moranis. Rick
just
Moranis.
like
Yeah.
the ensemble cast and stuff at the time. I'm talking about at the
Yeah.
time. Top Gun was a pretty good ensemble cast. Later on, people go, "Oh crap, that was," and the Breakfast Club was sort of that way
Breakfast
as well,
Club is.
right?
I mean, like I said, these are iconic.
But as
Not
far
only
as
all four of these are iconic movies, but they also had iconic like soundtracks. Also, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like
true.
you hear Raiders of the Lost Ark theme. You know what that is. You hear. Don't you forget? You know that's Breakfast Club. Obviously, Top Gun. Obviously, Ray Parker Jr. had Ghost. That dude made a fortune off of that song. Ray
One
Parker
song,
Jr.
dude.
One song, and that
song.
dude made a bloody fortune.
And I think that weighs with my decision. That weighed a little bit. I remember thinking about the soundtracks, and I'm like, they all are great soundtracks, but which one had a hit that was directly tied into the movie? You know what I mean? Like none of those other songs really. They could be used for other things. They could be used in other movies. They could be like Ghostbusters was like the title theme, and I mean, rocketed to #1, made that dude insanely wealthy.
Well, and you're talking about Kenny Loggins, who was already famous from the 70s with Loggins and Messina and all that. But Kenny Loggins had a run like there until about 88, 89, basically the whole 80s. That dude was like, if you were going to make a movie and you needed like a song, like Kenny Loggins was your man, like Footloose and Top Gun.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about two of the most iconic songs from movies ever. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Kenny Loggins was to 80s movies what Phil Collins was to Disney later on.
Or Elton John. Because Elton John had a run with, for me, like, and this is just how bad it was. Like, I've seen Top Gun Maverick like 5 times now. I'm not gonna lie, and I'll probably and I own the movie now, so I can watch it whenever I want. And I'll probably watch another 50 times in my lifetime. But for me, like the movie was great, but I think what put me in the mood of oh hell yeah, this is gonna be epic was the opening scene. The opening scene, they have the old Top Gun anthem coming in. And you're just like the very first scene of you're like, that just brings back like that warm, fuzzy feeling of, oh, we've been missing this. And so I'm glad they brought that and Danger Zone into the next movie. Ron Wayne out there, I'm not gonna lie, Hot Shots, man. I'm not gonna put Hot Shots. Hot Shots is in those with like, it's in that category of absolute classics, but it's like Robin Hood Men in Tights, right? It's in that same genre that you just absolutely love, and you'll never say a bad thing about it. But when you bring it right down to it, you're like, yeah, I mean, come on. But I'm not gonna turn it off if it's on the TV. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna love it. You know.
Knick-knack, paddywhack. Give a dog a bone, sir.
There you go. Okay. So Ted out there says Rambo 2. So huge Rambo fan. Everyone knows that. Rambo 2 or First Blood? If you had one of the two, because I think all of them were pretty good. And the last one was badass. Talk about a dark ass movie.
Dark. Yeah, you did super dark.
But of the first two, Rambo 2 and First Blood, Chase, Clover, do you have which one's if you could only watch one of them, which one would it be?
Probably First Blood.
Honestly, Rambo 2.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I love Rambo 2, and I think that it by far is a phenomenal sequel. You know what I'm saying? It's like up there with one of the best like sequels ever. It's a great one. I just there's something about First Blood. I love First Blood. I love Brian Dennehy. And a lot of people don't like him because he always plays a bad guy, but he plays one of the best bad guys. He was the bad guy in that. He was the bad guy in not Tombstone, but Silverado. I mean, Brian Dennehy plays a great bad guy. I don't know. I think I'm in on First Blood. Once again, I would never turn off Rambo 2. I love it, but yeah, I would definitely say that First Blood. Well, the first one, whatever. I think it was called First Blood. Is Rambo 2 called First Blood Part 2, or is it Rambo 2?
It's
Rambo. Rambo is the second. First Blood is Rambo.
Okay, so the very first movie was called First
Rambo
Blood.
2 is like the third movie, I think. Is the way that it is.
So it went First Blood.
Rambo 3.
Yeah, I thought it was Rambo 2 or 3.
I thought it was Rambo First Blood Part 2.
I think it was just Rambo First Blood and then First Blood Part 2.
Yeah.
But the very first one was called Rambo First Blood, correct? Or was it just called First Blood?
The first one was just First Blood.
First Blood? Okay. All right. All right. What's up, 223? What's up, buddy? Stripes was a great one.
Yeah. I watched it the other day.
I'll tell you, we're talking about bad ones. And let's be honest, for people my age and our age, one of the greatest movies that enlightened us into our teenage years and made us understand a little bit more about the world that we didn't understand before, or we had questions on, or we had never like thought of at the time, that you start getting funny feelings. Meatballs. Meatballs was a terrible movie, but for people our age, Meatballs means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were like that 10, 11 years old and you were watching Meatballs at that point, you understood, oh, this is kind of cool, you know?
Remember One Crazy Summer? Oh.
That
was like very early Demi Moore. Very early Demi Moore.
Yeah, you remember Revenge of the Nerds?
Oh, God, Nerds was amazing. Yeah. Both
that was great.
They had a bunch of nerds. I don't remember how many, but yeah.
Weird Science.
Weird Science. Oh God, great movie. I'm going to give another one. Weird Science, not Weird Science, but this movie to me has sentimental reasons that I love it so. Fast Times at Ridgemont High for a specific scene. I'll always have a special place in my heart for Fast Times at Ridgemont High. All right, so 223 says Rambo First Blood, Rambo First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3. Okay. So the first two were Rambo First Bloods, Part 1 and 2, and then the third one was just Rambo 3. No First Blood involved with that. Okay. I didn't remember how it went. Weston says the book was called Rambo First Blood Part 2.
What's up with Sylvester Stallone and like 8,000 sequels? You know, it's like, you ever think about that?
I mean,
like Rocky was crazy.
Because he writes all those movies, and he's just going to make money off that shit. Yeah. You know, and people don't realize he wrote Rocky.
Hey,
you know,
Judas Priest out there is bringing back old school Bill frickin' Murray, and yeah.
Oh no! I was getting ready to say. You were talking about Bill Murray in his prime, and it was his prime, but his best movie ever will always be Caddyshack. Hands down, no. And see, here's the thing. I guess one of the reasons why I didn't like Ghostbusters as much as other people did, I don't like Dan Aykroyd. I honestly, I can't stand Dan Aykroyd. Like, I don't watch hardly anything that he's in. Yeah. And he just, I don't know why, he's always drove me nuts. So that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't like Ghostbusters as much as, how about this one? Gremlins. Yeah, Gremlins was great. You had we're talking about the 80s. But Gremlins, you had what was the one? Oh, jeez. Goonies was a great one. Pump Up the Volume. Remember Pump Up the Volume?
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a great movie. I mean,
Still is.
yeah, I watched it about a year or so ago, and it's phenomenal. I mean, God, man, the 80s.
One of my favorite songs of all time.
You know,
one of my favorite songs of all time.
Which one?
The one that's playing in the beginning, Concrete Blonde. Everybody knows.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Except for he's playing it slowed down. And I literally had to go find the slowed down version because on the soundtrack it's not slowed down.
It's not. Yeah. And you like the slower version, don't you?
I like the slowed. It's awesome slowed like that. It's amazing just because of the lyrics and everything else. But I love that song.
God. Porky's was a great one.
Porky's was good stuff. Yeah.
If you're talking about Chevy Chase, Fletch. Let's meet Fletch, 6'4", 6'9" with the afro. You know,
Funny Farm may have been one of the best from Chevy Chase, though. Funny Farm.
That was good.
It was pretty great.
I love Fletch. I love the one-liners in Fletch 2. The Fletch movie was better, but Fletch 2 had some better lines in it.
Chevy Chase was amazing at that, though. Caddyshack, Chevy Chase is like, I got to think. You know, I mean, just amazing crap that Chevy Chase comes up with on the fly in some of those comedies. He's like the king of just the real quick wit, one-liner stuff.
There's a reason why he was part of that early. He wasn't in the original crew, I don't think, but he was, I think, in his second year at SNL. I think it was his second year, but he was part of that original crew there, or that early crew that was just made ad lib acting like sketch comedy what it is. You know, go ahead, Chase. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say like that early SNL crew was it's crazy. It's like you think all the major names that were involved in that. But there's absolutely. Like, what was it? He ad-libbed like half of all the like National Lampoon's movies.
Oh God, didn't they? That Chevy Chase, it never even dawned on me about the vacation movies and stuff.
Christmas Vacation might be the greatest Christmas movie in the history of the world.
Absolutely,
but the original Vacation was great.
Yes, like all the way.
Yep. 41% says Indiana Jones. 30%. 30%. I'm okay with any of these except for Ghostbusters, and it is what it is. Once again, we're talking Dan Aykroyd, right?
Great Outdoors is your favorite one. Come on.
Yeah. 30% in second place was Top Gun. In third place at 16% was Ghostbusters. And in fourth place, only 13% of you told the truth and actually admit that you love the Breakfast Club. Everyone loves the Breakfast Club. Only 13% were willing to publicly admit it.
Anything John Hughes, right?
I mean, talking about a guy that made just, I mean, he had about a 5-year stretch where he was untouchable.
Right.
I mean, like Pretty in Pink, 16, no matter what he did. Oh my God, one of the greatest movies of all time that is a terrible movie. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
how do we forget about Ferris Bueller?
Wonderful movie.
I mean, it's a terrible movie, but it's one of the greatest movies ever. Like, that's the reason why. I mean, everybody, when we were all growing up, everybody was trying to figure out a way to make skipping school fun at that point. You know? Man.
Well,
my dad loves this car more than me.
The issue that I've got, like, I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan.
Sure.
And I love the movies. And Harrison Ford, I'm sure they'll cast somebody else eventually in a remake, but Harrison Ford is forever will be Indiana Jones.
He'll always be Indiana Jones.
The same way with me, Christopher Reeves will forever be Superman. Some more horrible movies, by the way.
Yep.
But for me, what gets it for me with Indiana Jones, and it's one of the things great up until a certain point, and then you start becoming aware of plot holes. And at the point you start becoming aware, and you watch so many things, and you become, you know what I'm saying? You've got an eye for that stuff.
Sure.
Indiana Jones movies just start falling apart. It's like, it's like, you can't. It's hard to enjoy them anymore.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with an archaeological professor that goes and does crazy ass adventures. There's only so much you can do with that, you know. But they all made fucking money. They all made money, for sure. All right, the final poll question, which transitioned us actually into the conversation that people probably have been waiting patiently. We probably lost a bunch of people. It was like, what the hell are they talking about? Like, I came here for gun talk. We'll get there. We get there. We always get there. But we do little things a little different. It's a slow burn. You got to really want it on this one. Anyways, of these, which is the best handgun? Colt Single Action Army, Colt 1911, Smith & Wesson Model 10, Glock 17. I'm going to go with Chase on this one first. I'm interested to see, because I think I know where Clover's going, unless he just changes his mind just to piss me off. But Chase, of those four, which is your favorite?
Well, firstly, he would never do that. Come on.
No, of course not. Yeah.
But I mean, we all had this debate long and hard a while back.
Yeah.
Of those, I think I'm gonna have to go with the icon itself, Single Action Army.
I can't argue any of the four, but no, I get it.
I mean,
Clove, what about you? I can, but why would I? You know.
What were the options? Single Action Army,
1911, Model 10, and the 17. Yep. You're welcome.
You know, I'm gonna fall back because Chase has already said Single Action Army, and I'm gonna make an argument for Model 10. I think Model 10 ushered in modern era of revolvers. So yes, I don't think it would be around without the single action. But I think it led to everything we have seen in the last 150 years or whatever with double action revolvers. It's pretty much, you can thank the Model 10.
Oh, the Model 10 is an icon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not the Model 10. It was the hand ejector way back then, but
yeah,
it's the same exact gun. Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why I picked these specific four. And I did a video over the weekend, released it Saturday, and it was my top 5 handguns of all time. I want to say, and don't give me the order, but the 5 of them, I think it was the 1911 was 5. The high power was 4. I want to say oh, good Lord. 1911, the high power. The Model 10, I think, was maybe 2. I didn't have Glock in there. But I did. My number 1 was a Single Action Army, because I think that's what made handguns. The 1873 Single Action Army made handguns. It made handguns. Like, that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the gun that won the West as far as handguns go. And that thing made handguns a viable, like, oh my God, we don't have to use shotguns or lever actions or whatever. Like, this is pretty cool. The reason why I picked these 4 is I had a specific reason for these 4. Now, notice the Glock 17 was not on the top 5 list. The Colt Single Action, once again, iconic. The 1911, iconic, still around. The design is unbelievable. The Model 10, iconic. I mean, every cop show in the 70s and 60s that you ever watched, everyone had Model 10. That's what it was. Matter of fact, the Model 10 is the first M&P for Smith & Wesson. That was the first M&P. In the Glock 17, regardless of what you guys think about Glock changed, I think, for the better. A lot of people disagree. That's why people ought to hate it. But The Glock 17 changed handguns forever. What they did with polymer and but the high power reason why that didn't make the list is man, I was really close with that. I was really close. The high power is the first basically double stacked 9mm. Oh, the fifth one on the list was the Luger. The Luger was number 2. Because without the Luger, pretty much, would the greatest caliber, would God's caliber be God's caliber today if it wasn't for the Luger? Maybe it would. Maybe there's someone would have come out with what, but they didn't. The Luger was the first one. Made the 9mm, and now look at the 9mm thanks to the Luger. But yeah, I don't know. To me, of those 4, it's hard to go against the Army. I mean, it really is. And I know that's going to sound weird coming from I'm sure everyone thought I'd say the 17. It's hard to
go against
the
17 without the Army.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't get to any of these without the Army. Let's just be honest. You don't get to any of them without the Army.
Yep.
So that's kind of, I mean, is it the best gun? No. But I think it's absolutely the most important handgun of all time. That's my choice. Now let's kind of dive into this and Chase. We've been doing this a long time, but we're all friends. You don't have to wait for me to call on you. Just jump in. Now we're into the open discussion, as Jeff would say. So the shit shooting part of the show.
So I think single action Army. I can see single and again, I'm taking the Model 10 here.
Yeah, no, I get, I 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Just for the sake of arguing something different, because I do concede that the single action Army started it all, right? So
right.
Without that, we don't have anything, or what we have now, who knows, right? But anyway, I think. When you start getting into double action, you start getting into swing out cylinders, right?
Yeah.
You start getting into the idea that capacity, faster reload matters, right?
Sure.
That's a huge.
Just think about when and why the single action was made.
Yeah.
War, the Wild West end up using. I mean, there was a lot of reasons why that was important, not just because it looked cool and it was something new. It was designed for a reason,
Yeah, but I think just like the single action Army started all, and every one of these on the list started something.
Absolutely,
but just like the single action Army started the OG ball rolling, so to speak.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think you get, we need to shoot faster. Oh, we need larger capacity. Oh, I don't think you get that without the old hand ejectors. Like, that's what started that mentality of now we're used to single action, slow to load, slow to reload, unless you're, unless you're single action shooting sports society and swapping cylinders and stuff, Mikulek style or something like that. But anyway,
and they do.
It really started bringing forth this idea of swing a cylinder out, smack it, speed loaders or whatever. It's still 6 rounds. It's still way quicker to load that way, even by hand, than a single action revolver. So then how far was it of a leap to go, hey, if we're doing this, what if we fed it a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to feed it a different way, why not make it automatically cycle the next round, right? And then so forth and so on, all the way up to Glock and larger capacity. For me, Glock, more than what it did for the handgun, what is the word? Glock, to me, the power in Glock that most people seldom see is they look at the handgun designs, and I look more at the manufacturing process and how
the marketing
also.
That. I mean, you have the marketing, all of the business
side of it. Yeah. 100%. For me, the thing with Glock is the business side of things, from the manufacturing to the marketing to all of that, more so than actual handgun design and all the influence since, which has been huge, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think that even companies that produce all metal things, have learned things from manufacturing to marketing to so forth from, what Glock has done.
Yeah. It's one of those where I didn't put it on there because I truly didn't feel like it deserved to be on there, but it was close. It was at least a thought. And I have a special place in my heart, but the Beretta 92 was a very important firearm as well. But I don't think it's at that. It's not there yet. That's what I'm saying. It's not one of those. But it's a very important firearm.
When we're back to 80s movies, the Beretta 92 is epic.
Well, let's remember though, the M9 is officially the handgun that replaced the 1911.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it took that long for the military to find a gun. Say what you want to about the M9, the 92. A lot of people don't like them. I get it.
Well, that design had been around a long time, by the way.
But it was the one that, but what I'm saying is that was the one that the military finally said, there's something better out there. Or there's something that, whatever the reason why, but it went from the 1911 to the 92, the M9. That's crazy. Glock is great. I'll tell you some others that I thought.
I will say, personally, the Glock, because it's going to piss all the Glock boys off, and I don't care.
Right.
It's not that I don't like Glock or like Glock, whatever. No. I could take it or leave it. Glock was a evolution to the firearms industry, not a revolution. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, "Oh, this, striker, this." They're not the first striker by a long shot. They're not the first polymer gun.
They're not but they made it popular. Yeah,
it's Glock introduced the mass production and mass introduction of firearms to the market. But keep in mind, everything leading up to basically the late 70s, 80s, when these became a thing, were all Browning designs. They were all evolutions of 1911s, high powers, whatnot. There wasn't a lot of change until then. Then you had obviously the Glock, but you had the SIG original P family. You had the HKU.
Let's say, and everyone knows I'm not a huge SIG guy. Everyone knows that, but the P226 is iconic. You'll never hear me say a bad word about the 226. The 226 is an iconic firearm. Let's just be honest about it.
It is. I mean, that gun honestly should have been the service pistol over the Beretta.
For a lot of people, it was. It just wasn't official.
Yeah.
Makes sense? There were a lot of 226s out there. They just weren't official,
A lot of them float around.
A lot of them floated around. The team guys, that's all they carry with 226. SEAL team guys. That was the official SEAL sidearm, was a 226 for a while. When I was in, they were carrying 226s for sure.
226s and 225s back in the day. Yep. The compacts.
Yeah. There's just so there's it's so hard. Because there's so many guns that are great and the best at specific things, or because of this or what. So I'm going to start this by saying to Clover, first, someone was bringing up the Mosin and all of that. Clover and I were talking earlier today about the Nagant revolver. And that's a pretty badass little revolver. I had never seen one before. And he was talking about it, and I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Nagant revolver? And what is it? 7.62 by 38.
38.
Shit, and it's a strange caliber. But that thing's a pretty cool damn revolver. It's pretty damn cool. I had never seen one, but I was looking up online. He was talking about it. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Nagant revolver. I didn't know there was such a thing. It's pretty damn cool. And that gun, for what it is, I will guarantee you that is the 1911 for Russia, probably. But a lot of Russian guys carried that in the military for years and years and years, Yep. But yeah, there's a lot of great handguns that are great for a lot of reasons, not just by design. I think we'll all probably I mean, I'm not going to assume this, but I would assume that it would be the majority. But off the X says, I'll put my high point up against a Glock any day. No, you won't, because I know you. Like, we shoot together. But it's a funny comment. But I know you better than that. I forgot I was going to go. I'm not very smart.
Let me, while you're thinking of it, let me.
I don't know if I'll ever think of it again, but
yeah. So, Your Honor, I would like to bring attention to G23's comment, which says the 96 is better than the 92.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. I'm going to prove him wrong really quickly here, simply by mentioning the number of 92s produced worldwide and the number of them in use worldwide versus the 96. I rest my case.
40 short week.
I don't even have to go that far. My defense as to why the 96 is not is one simple thing: 40 Smith & Wesson. That's all the defense I need. That's all the defense I have to need is 40 Smith & Wesson.
Now, what if you can take a 96, throw a 357 SIG barrel in it?
Okay. Once again, I you know this about me. I am a huge fan of 357 SIG. The only good thing about 40 Smith in this world is it can be converted to 357 SIG. So I'm okay with that. If I can find a conversion for a 96, then absolutely, I'd probably love that thing. I'd probably love it.
There's actually barrels for it out there.
You're shitting me.
I think either EFK or KKM did them, but there's
okay. So aftermarket stuff. Okay, yeah.
Well, there is this company. I think it's called Gerson that's making these things called the Regard.
The Regard, yeah. And I've heard about these. Are they good at all?
I think maybe we've met somebody that works for.
I keep hearing about this damn company, but I've heard they're assholes.
You think they would get innovative? You think they would get innovative and have the 357 SIG Regard? Just saying.
I mean, there's tons of calibers I would like to do. Trust
I bet
me.
You would.
The problem is getting them.
Ooh, a Regard at 10 millimeter would be pretty sweet.
It would fly apart.
Everybody screams for a 38 Super 1911 right now.
Really?
Like they want the gold and like a chrome.
Yeah, it would have to be with Mexican with white pearl Mexican flag grips.
Yep. Oh, for sure. Like every border town would sell them like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, 357 SIG 92.
Oh man, that'd be
92, 96 would be insane.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I do like that caliber myself. I had several SIGs and several HKs myself in 357 SIG, and that's one of those stupid rounds that I just love. I have no good reason. I just like it.
Now, Snob says he keeps hearing about EAA also, but they don't return emails.
Dude, I was gonna send him a message anyway about call me tomorrow. Like physically call me, don't email me, because my inbox is so nightmarish right now. It's not funny.
Yes, I can just tell you this: he may not answer your emails or calls. He has plenty of time every day to send YouTube things, recipes to us. Like we exchange recipes and different stuff every day. So I don't know what that says about you, but I have no problem getting a hold of him every day.
Well, that's because I'm running a cooking class while we're talking usually, in my free time.
That's fair. That's fair. All like 3 seconds of your free time.
It's usually while I'm waiting on that stupid ATF system to load.
I get these like random like texts every now and then. Check this out, and it's like okay, sorry. But yeah, random text. But yeah, I don't have a problem getting a hold of them. I'm just saying, it's not. I don't know what that says about you. Now, Gizzard Gary might have won the internet. An Altor and 10 millimeter. Just saying. That needs to happen. Talking about breaking wrists. That would be hilarious. Gun Snob says he needs a 3-second cooking class. Yeah.
We should.
I'm the king of three.
Do that
I'm
as
the
a next
3
show.
seconds.
We all know. We've heard.
Yeah.
That should be one of the show sticks right there. We should do a cooking class in front of everybody. Clover can make Lucky Charms.
Trying to think of. All right, well, fuck it. What would be your go-to if you were going to cook dinner for someone? Like all three of us in this room love cooking, and a lot of people out there like cooking. They might not admit it, but I suck at it, but I love it. I'm definitely not as accomplished as Chase and Clover. Well, certain things I am. I'll put my steak to anybody's. I know Clover will tell you he'll put his barbecue or his brisket against anybody's. Chase will put, I don't know what. So let's start with Chase. Like, what's your go-to? Like, if someone were to ask you, like, hey, you're going to cook for the president, and it's a president that you like, not that you would want to kill. So let's just say a president you would like to cook for. Not that you would want to kill any of them. Yeah, not that you'd want to kill any president. But anyways, what would be your go-to like meal that like when you cook, like it's good,
Oh, I mean, I could absolutely throw down steak. I mean, that's one of my absolute specialties, and seafood as well. Like I love cooking a lot of seafood in general.
Yep. See, I don't eat seafood, so I mean that doesn't like.
No, we're gonna change.
I like shellfish. I like shrimp, crab, lobster. I can eat tuna. Like I've had a tuna steak, but like I don't know. I don't eat fish. I just don't like.
You need to try swordfish.
I've heard swordfish. My wife loves. She loves basically all fish. Honestly, let's be real about it.
Yeah, cobia is a great one for you to try too. For people who don't like fish, because it's a real flaky white fish, but it absorbs the flavor of whatever you're cooking with it. So it's pretty good.
If I received a text, did you send it to the hotline number? Because if so, let me go over. I've got my text. I can look it up right here. A text. The guy says, "It's hi, Alan. How's your medical project going? Give me an update." Wrong number, obviously. Oh, snap. Okay, so G23. Well, that's just disgusting. I won't even acknowledge that I got that text with that picture. So yeah, I don't know. So I'm still pissed. The whole week we were in Florida, OB and Sarge refused to let me eat seafood. There's a place down by Destin, maybe. I can't remember. Was it Captain Jack's? They've got an all-you-can-eat crab legs.
Captain Jack's, Panama City.
Panama. Okay, I knew it was somewhere because we were, we go back and forth between Destin and Panama and all that area. I can't remember. That week we went both places. So, but yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, those areas, the Panhandle, were like my backyard growing up. I know.
We call that the Redneck Riviera.
It is.
Absolutely. And it's wonderful.
Orange Beach to PC, man. That's what it is.
Yep. The Redneck Riviera. Trash Panda, what's up, homie? All right. So Chase, let's do this. Oh, I gotta ask Clover because he'll have a conniption. What's your go-to, like your one meal that like reflects who you are and what you are as a cook? What's your one meal that you would serve?
Probably ribs, and then go strawberry cake for dessert.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, for me, it's definitely gonna be steak. I can cook a mean steak. Steak with cream corn. Steak with cream corn and probably a little like a green bean casserole. I know it sounds. I love green bean casserole, but definitely for sure. Steak with cream corn, dessert, brownies, warm brownies with vanilla ice cream. You're welcome. Just saying, you're welcome.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Because I like my brownies. I don't like the brownies like all flaky. I like them kind of like about 90% cooked. They're still a little bit undercooked. That's the best brownie in the world for me.
I gotta have when I do like, every once in a while eat a brownie. It's got to be like an edge. Like I want that like crust on the edge.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah. No, I hear you. I like the. I don't mind edges at all. I do appreciate and like the middle, but I mean, I don't mind. I'll eat whatever brownie. It's all good. I don't care. What would be? You didn't answer, Chase. What would be your dessert that you would go with?
Dessert, I don't know because I'm not really a huge dessert fan.
Neither am I. That's why I picked brownies. That's really the only one that I can consistently like. Is brownies.
Yeah, I mean, the only dessert I'm really into really is like ice cream. I'm not a big
Sure.
cake and pie and all
right.
that.
So, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Let's just go with that then.
Honestly, I've gotten really into like the salted caramels and stuff like that lately.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like that kind of stuff. I will say, kind of like what you were saying, like our thing, like our family would do these big cruises is like we see how many like warm chocolate melting cakes we can all possibly eat. Like that's where it's at. That with the ice cream.
Yeah.
That's pretty delicious, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Snob's not wrong either. There's no bad part of a brownie. Definitely. Especially if you have homemade vanilla ice cream. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can get a brownie hot out of the oven, or if you just need to heat it up in a microwave, whatever, but if you can get it hot out of the oven where it's still like kind of gooey and it's got enough thickness that it's good, but just a little touch gooey, like 90% cooked, and you throw a little thing of vanilla ice cream on top of that, you are welcome, my friend. Welcome to heaven. Delicious.
Like
all right. What's that?
Fresh French vanilla, like vanilla bean, like legit. Oh yeah.
Yes. The homemade. What is it? I actually like that, and we're talking Bluebell. Now, people outside the South doesn't know what Bluebell is. Bluebell is, by the way, it's the greatest ice cream in the history of the world. But I'm talking Bluebell flavors. Clover, since you're a Bluebell guy also, do you like French vanilla or homemade vanilla? I'm a homemade vanilla.
Homemade vanilla.
Okay.
Hands down. All the way.
Yeah, hands down. No, I'm not saying that French vanilla is bad, but I think homemade vanilla is the bomb.
You might as well get
the made.
You might as well get if you're not going to go Bluebell homemade vanilla or actual homemade vanilla, then you might as well just buy the cheap tub of cheap crap at the vanilla. You know what I mean?
Whatever they have.
It's like, it's going to suck. Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
But actual homemade vanilla is the bomb. Like real homemade ice cream.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not great, but it depends on how they make it. If they use,
this is true. You got to have somebody that knows how to make it.
You've got to have someone that knows what they're doing. That's going to use heavy cream or actual like legit whole milk, not the whole milk they sell at the grocery store, but legit. Like
not the stupid
cream, like the cream is separated from the other, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
No.
People will go and they'll buy the ice cream maker, and then sitting right next to it is the powdered packaged crap where no,
it's got to be like raw organic milk, and it's got to be.
That's what I'm talking about.
Cream.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like our old great grandmothers used to make.
You don't get the richness if you don't do that.
Out there an old hand crank just for going to town. Oh yeah.
Yep. Now, Snob, I'm getting ready to ban your ass. I'm just saying.
Brahms is good. Brahms is a solid second. Brahms is a solid second.
And I'll tell you what, Brahms is a restaurant. They've got one of the best chicken sandwiches you'll ever have. Brahms has really good food. Yeah.
The breakfast food. Their
Brahms
burgers,
is great.
It's yeah.
Brahms is people really like people don't understand like Brahms is so much better than like what is it, the 31 flavors, Baskin Robbins and all that. Brahms is legit. I'll give it that, but it ain't better than Bluebell. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're a restaurant, a grocery store. They're all in one there. Yeah, they
have great bottled root beer, and I think it's a Brahms brand. At least it used to be. They had great root beer back in the day. I don't even know if Brahms are a thing, like the restaurants are a thing, up past the Mason-Dixon line, but everything's better in the South, just saying.
Yep. That's why I stay away from that Ben and Jerry's liberal shit.
Oh, Ben and Jerry's. I don't like the I don't know what you even call it. But I don't like the gourmet ice cream shit. You know, give me
even
vanilla,
Bluebell.
give me chocolate chip, or give me Neapolitan from Bluebell. I'm
Even
good.
Bluebell,
I'm good.
even Bluebell has gotten a little crazy at times with some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've had to. I will say this about what Ben and Jerry's done is they've gotten creative with their names and the different combinations. So you're right, they have forced
Marketing.
the marketing for Bluebell and Brahms and all these different ones to step up their game.
So,
but they're always going to have the basics. You know, you're always going to have the basics.
So anytime you talk ice cream, this always comes up, and it's usually not Southerners, but even with Southerners, it does come up. Is Haagen-Dazs.
Okay,
and
it's
nasty. I don't get the appeal. It's like, again, buy the cheap gallon tub from the grocery store, and it's just as good. Like, I don't get the appeal of Haagen-Dazs.
It's just too rich. I'm not a chocolate guy. Like I eat chocolate brownies, chocolate cake, stuff like that. But like, I don't eat chocolate bars. I don't eat like Hershey Kisses. I don't eat like chocolate's not a thing for me. I don't particularly like chocolate. But if it's gonna be chocolate, it's gonna be milk chocolate. The Haagen-Dazs, it's always like this dark, rich, heavy, like everything. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it's really heavy and really, I don't know, too rich for me. I never had been a big Haagen-Dazs fan. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, I mean, but then again, when you grow up on we grow up on Bluebell and the Brahms, because there was a Brahms like a block from our house, and we'd go eat there all the time for lunch. But you grew up on the Bluebells and the Brahms, that they understood that simple's better. Like, I mean, for the longest time, Rocky Road was the craziest shit that Bluebell did, was Rocky Road. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell?
Perfect the simple
stuff. Are they the Glock of ice cream?
Ooh, could be. It could be.
You got to rock the old man butter pecan in there somewhere, though.
Ooh, the butter pecan. Yeah, see, I'm not a big butter pecan. That was my dad's gig. Like, my dad jammed with butter pecan.
Yeah, my wife.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's like the old guys.
Blue Bunny. And so Gizzard Gary Blue Bunny's not bad. I think that's like a little bit northern knockoff of Bluebell, but Blue Bunny's not bad. It really isn't.
I prefer the Blue Bunny confections or whatever, the bars, right? Or whatever, over the, you know what I mean? Over the actual ice cream in a tub.
Yeah, sure.
Like the Eskimo pies, the ice cream sandwiches, whatever they are.
Ooh, Eskimo pies. I love that.
The cones, I love the Blue Bunny cones and that kind of stuff.
My favorite. Okay, so real quick, because I'm going to lose this. Ice cream on a stick. Think about your favorite. Mine's going to be different because it has ice cream, but kind of not really. But my favorite frozen on a stick is got to be the Dreamsicle.
Oh,
the Dreamsicles.
They're wonderful.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful.
What's your favorite ice cream on a stick? Or I don't even want to say on a stick, because I'll throw in like an ice cream sandwich. That could be part of it. But what are those little the ice cream snacks? What's your favorite? I thought it used to be my favorite. Do you remember the old Disney Mickey Mouse ice cream sticks back in the day?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Those were freaking good, because the ears were like the Eskimo pie, like the shell. And then, oh god, that was so
like
good.
Little M&M, whatever it was, nose.
Yes.
You can still get some of that stuff at the Mexican ice cream stores around. Just saying.
But they haven't been made since like 1992, so they might be around, but I wouldn't eat them.
If I can go in there and find a legit Flintstones push pop, then I'm in.
Oh, the push pop! I forgot about the push pops. Good call on that.
Yep. Man, the Crunch Bar comes to mind.
Crunch bars were good, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something as simple. The Nestle Crunch bars were good when they first came out because they were different.
Wouldn't have to be a Nestle's Crunch Bar. It could be,
Well, I'm just saying, I call it Nestle's Crunch Bar because I remember those came out and they were pretty good. I mean, it's hard to beat like the good old. I mean, my favorite is the Dreamsicle, but I think it's hard to beat really, really hard to beat an Eskimo pie or an ice cream sandwich. Like they're just basics.
Or a
They're just
fudgesicle.
basics. A fudgesicle's
I'll
good.
say a
Now
fudgesicle.
drumsticks have been brought up. Drumsticks are really good.
Yeah.
I like the ones, and this is gonna sound so it's gonna sound weird. I get it, but it is a thing. But it's also gonna sound weird, and people are gonna make fun of what I'm gonna say. I don't like the ones with the nuts on them. Like I don't
Really?
mind them. I don't mind them. But if I had like around here, you can find them sometimes with just the shell and not the nuts. Like I prefer those more.
So one thing that, and I think they did this because
I
maybe
don't like nuts, damn it.
like maybe ice cream is more expensive than chocolate. I guess is why they do this. But it seems like over the years,
yeah.
the chocolate on the inside is just way too thick for me. It's like they've increased the size of the chocolate.
Oh, you mean at the bottom of the cone? You mean?
Yeah, which decreases.
Yeah, it's getting longer. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you get less ice cream because they put more chocolate. And I just don't care for that.
Go get the Blue Bunny, the minis. Trust me, the chocolate.
Oh, those are. I've had those. They're
the
like
chocolate at the bottom is
mint
just
ones.
right. Yeah.
Oh, have you had the mint chocolate chip ones?
Yes.
Oh.
The little. There's no nuts on them. They're just a perfect size.
Yeah,
like you get that little bit like
that big.
Yeah,
they come in like a tray
awesome.
of a tray of like 6 of them or something, isn't there? 6 or 8 on a tray. It comes in a tray. You just The problem is you open that up and there's a tray of them, and you're gonna finish that tray. That's just the way it is. But yeah, they're good. I don't like these nuts. I don't like any nuts. No, I do like. I like cashews. I really like cashews. I don't mind the drumstick with the nuts, but since I have found the ones that are just the shell, if they have those, I prefer those. Now here's another one. The ones that have the drumstick with the chocolate ice cream, I really like a lot too. I'm not a big fan of the ones that has like the caramel inside of it. I'm not a big caramel fan, but do you guys like the drumsticks with the caramel in it in the ice cream?
Not really, no.
People swear by them.
Not just that, like it's different. Like what I was talking about earlier, like the salted caramel ice cream, where it's all mixed together and you get that salty sweet. That's different. Yeah. Like in those little cones, I want chocolate. Leave it alone.
Yeah. The chocolate's great. And if you haven't tried the mint chocolate chip one, that's pretty damn good too.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Pretty good. Snob says, "Do you have the Schwann's truck around you?" Yes, we have Schwann's, the yellow truck Schwann's. We do here in Arkansas. I remember them as a kid in Dallas, but I don't know if they're still around in Dallas.
Oh yeah, my mom got a delivery today. Okay. Yeah, my mom got a delivery today. So
and they got good food. They got some really good food in Schwann's.
It's expensive, but yeah, it's and the ice cream and all is pretty solid. I mean,
it is.
Best,
yeah, the ice. I used to be like, I remember being a kid, like running out to the Schwann's truck, like for the ice cream. Like that was legit.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, another thing. If you guys can find, a oh my God, I'm lost my mind. Not Bluebell. What are we talking about? The ice cream restaurant that we love.
Baskin Robbins, wasn't that?
No.
Brahms.
No, the one that's at Brahms. If you ever get a chance to go to Brahms, I'm telling you, it sounds weird. It's kind of like a diner almost inside. They have a great chicken fried steak at Brahms.
Yeah.
Great chicken fried steak at Brahms. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
There's not anything on their menu that's not awesome.
No, they're not.
Because if y'all
little cups of ice cream,
go to Dairy Queen and get a dip cone because I hate you all now.
Dip cones are pretty good. My wife loves the Blizzard. She'll go. I'm not a big Blizzard guy, but she'll go and get the double chocolate fudge like extravaganza thing, and she'll ask for extra chocolate, and that's way too much chocolate for me. But
yep.
Yeah, Snob's right. We're going to change the name. Instead of the best guns ever, we're going to do the new show title. When I change it, will be best ice cream of all time.
Yep.
We have not talked a lot about guns, and that's okay. We're going an hour and a half, and that's just what we do.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
That's right. And I think it's been fun. A&W. See, here's the thing. Okay, I had never had an A&W. I mean, I'm not. I had never been to an A&W restaurant before. I went to Okinawa, and they've got A&W restaurants in Okinawa, and I'm driving there and you see this A&W, like, oh my God, I love A&W root beer. I didn't know that there was a such thing as an A&W restaurant. They didn't have them in Dallas. At least when I was growing up, I never saw one if they did. But A&W restaurants are pretty good, but I had it sounds so funny.
Yeah.
I had to go all the way to Japan to have an A&W restaurant. And there's one right around the corner from my wife's house that she grew up at. So every time we were over there, like I'll eat there. I'll get at least something there every day. It might be a soda, it might be a burger, it might be fries, it might be whatever. I'm going to A&W every day while I'm in Okinawa because I don't see them here. To this day, I don't see them here. So you didn't see them either growing up, have you, Clove or Chase?
Oh, I've seen A&Ws. Yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay.
They're sparse. I will say that they're sparse.
Like I never saw like I didn't see a physical location until I was like a later teenager.
Yeah.
And it was like an A&W and then something else combined.
Yeah, kind of like the Long John Silver, Taco Bell, or KFC places. Yeah.
Yeah, there was something that but yeah, it was a cool because, and like I said, I don't know. That's the only one I've ever, Okinawa is the only ones I've ever seen. But you can go and get like a barrel. It's basically a gallon, but it looks like a barrel of root beer, and it's got a little tap on there. It's about maybe 2 gallons or gallon and a half, and it's got a little tap on it that you just, it's pretty cool. I've never seen anything like that before. It's really cool. But A&W and Long John Silver. What? Long John Silver.
That would be the worst smell ever inside.
Talking about.
Oh, they were combined. You mean? Oh, I don't know. I've never, like I said, I've never seen one in America that I remember seeing.
Yeah. I've seen them doubled up, but I can't remember what they were doubled up with.
So Snob says most A&Ws here were in the Long John Silvers also, but they're all closing down. I don't know. Never saw that.
Long John Silver's is one of those that it's a very tough business. The fast food.
It's hard to fast food. Yeah, fish is. Yes,
it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to keep. It's the handling aspect of it is extremely difficult, and then finding cheap enough sources is difficult as well.
Now G23 says get an A&W root beer float from A&W. Oh, I trust me. Once again, when I'm in Okinawa, I live at A&W.
The best root beer float I've ever had. There is it's called Zelmer's, I think, but they, how the little fairs will come to town. People will do fairs on the courthouse square, and then sometimes they put up carnivals and do a little fair and that type thing, and
right.
It happens all over the place, right? And there's certain vendors that tour that circuit. It's kind of like tables at a gun show, right? Going to something like that.
Yeah.
They make that circuit. But anyway, they've got a food truck type thing, and it's called Zelmer's Root Beer. And it is old fashioned, like original old fashioned root beer.
I love old fashioned.
They make root beer floats, and you can buy, it's like $10, but you can buy this mug. That if you buy the mug for $10, you get whatever you want, whether you want root beer or a float or whatever.
Okay. So you're buying the glass.
Yeah, half price if you bring your glass back. And you can bring it to any function, right? So you can do a fair in one town, buy the $10 mug, right?
And there's nothing better than a great glass mug that's been in the freezer. Oh,
yeah. And then you can get $5 refills wherever, right? So I mean, it's worth it. But anyway, they do a root beer float with their, like I said, their homemade original recipe root beer with Bluebell ice cream. And oh my God, it's like it's heaven. It's like literally.
Okay, so I get a text from Snob.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Can now. I think his text kind of screwed you up there.
Oh, okay. So I got a text from Snob, and he said that I didn't hear anything on my side until I said, "Oh, there he is." I was like, "What?" But Snob text me and said there's 3 locations of A&Ws in Arkansas. The closest one is 2 hours from me. So, but there is one in Hot Springs, and I go to Hot Springs every now and then. Used to live there for a little bit. The other one's up in Northwest Arkansas, and the other one is Gassville. I've never even heard of Gassville, so I need to find out where that is. But there are apparently 3 locations of A&Ws in Arkansas that I had no idea. So there you go. Yeah, I love old school root beer. I'm a huge root beer guy. I don't mind A&W. Actually, it sounds weird. The A&W Zero or no sugar, whatever you want to call it, used to be A&W Diet, is better than I think than the regular A&W. I don't mind A&W. But my favorite that's out now is Barks. I love Barks root beer.
I can't stand Barks.
Really, but my favorite of all time, and I don't know if it was outside of Dallas because I've never seen it anywhere else, and they might have closed down. I don't know, but you could only get it in a bottle back then. It was called IBC root beer. Now you're from the Dallas area. You remember IBC root beer, Clover?
We still have it. We still have it here.
Okay, so I've never seen it outside of Dallas. I've never seen it anywhere. I can't get it here.
Yep.
So Chase, have you heard of IBC?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's next to Dallas. Okay.
Yeah.
And IBC's good. And they have a cream soda. They have several things. They also have a diet, but yeah.
Yeah, they had a few different options.
They might have it here, but I've never seen the IBC. But that was one of those because it was in a bottle and a glass bottle, and that was the best in my eyes. That was the best root beer ever. Was IBC. Next time I'm in Dallas, I need to pick some up.
Yeah, if you want one you can buy off the shelf, like Abita Brewing that does like all the different Abita beers. Abita makes a ridiculous root beer.
What is it called?
Root beer, Abita, like Abita Brewing Company out of Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
So they are like their beers are good in general, but their root beer is really good. So that and like Bluebell homemade vanilla, it'll change your life. Trust me.
Weston says you need to try Culver's. There's one in Springfield, Missouri. That's only a few hours from me. They're mostly up north. Culver's. I've never heard of Culver's.
I've heard a lot of good things about Culver's. I've never ate at one.
Okay, I didn't. I've never been there. I've never heard of it before. So.
And I say that I may have eaten. You remember when we was coming back from Indy a few years back, and we stayed. We're like we were hammered. We were too tired, and somewhere in Arkansas, it's like it ain't no way. We still had way longer of a drive than you had, and so we ended up stopping and staying. And I think it was a Culver's that was next door to the hotel there. And I think we ate breakfast. Yeah, because because we got in late, and I was kind of, I'll never forget it. We got in late. We were late. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, what's the rate? And they told me, and I'm like, it sucks. I'm like, full price just for a few hours sleep, And she's like, well, I'll tell you what. She said, we got some vouchers here for free breakfast next door.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, well, that makes it a little better deal.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we checked in. Next morning we got up, and I think that was a Culver's, and we had breakfast there, and it was pretty awesome.
Snob says there's one in Branson, so I'm gonna have to go check that out next time in Branson. At least try their root beer. Gary says that Culver's is the home of the butter burger. Well, that just sounds beautiful. I don't know what that is, but that sounds amazing. A butter burger. I'm in.
Yeah, Culver's is pretty good. Like I never had one until I got to Florida. There's one not too far down the road, and I was like, I'll try this. So like their ice cream is like, it's like that thick custard, like almost.
Yeah, I'm not a big that. I mean, yeah, but I get it.
They're like little cheese. They're cheese curds.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Defense Dad says Culver's tastes great, but it'll always give him a gut ache. Judah says that Culver started up in Wisconsin from the Culver family up there. So there you go. Wes, the first time he went to Culver was in Wisconsin. So that makes sense that it was started by the family up there in Wisconsin. I'm not a connoisseur by any chance, but anytime I'm somewhere and they have like their own brand of root beer, I'm going to try it. I love root beer. I've always loved root beer. I don't know why. Not a fan of cream soda. Maybe that's why I'm not a huge fan of A&W. I don't know, but I mean, like I said, anytime I'm around, like especially if I can find root beer in a glass bottle somewhere, like in an ice chest or something, I still think this even Coca-Cola is better. Like I think everything's better in an ice bottle. Bring back the bottle machines. Bring back those machines with bottles. But yeah, if you can get me around a root beer in a bottle, I'm going to try it no matter where I am. Real Call says he ate at Culver's today. He had double butter burger at Culver's today. So there you go. Yeah. Gary's got them in Topeka and in Wichita. So there you go. What's up, Roro? How you doing, buddy? And yes, everything is better than an ice cold bottle. You are correct, Snob. Faux shizzle.
Mexican Cokes are the best now.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
They're pretty good.
I said the Mexican Cokes are like where it's at now. Like the Mexican Cokes, so it's the Cokes that are made in Mexico. They still use like real sugar and a.
Oh, they use real sugar. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
You can get Dr. Pepper. You can get Dr. Pepper here in Texas that's still made with real sugar.
You can still get those in Arkansas too. You don't see them as often, but you do see them every now and then. Basically, you don't see them very often because as soon as they hit the shelf, they're gone. But yeah, they have the Dr. Pepper real sugar, and those are, they're
good. They're good.
Paul Fat Bastard out there says if you go inside, I'm assuming he's talking at Culver's. If you go inside, they have frosted mugs for you to use. Like I said, man, like frosted mugs are it sounds crazy. I love milk, but you give me milk in an ice cold frosted mug. Oh, so good. So good. There's a bar. Judas says there's a bar here in Wisconsin that serves old fashioned root beer right out of the keg. Oh, I'm in. Okay. So next time, I've never been to Wisconsin. If I ever go to Wisconsin, Judas, I'm going to hit you up and tell me where that place is. And that's going to be something that we're going to do. Ghost Tactical, they have bottled sodas everywhere. I get that, but like to me, like my fond memories, IBC in a cold bottle, that reminds me of childhood in Dallas. That's just what it is. Home Depot has Mexican Coke in glass bottles. I'll be damned. I didn't know that. Yeah, but see, you can get the glass bottle sodas at some gas stations, but you don't see the machines. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see the bottle machines. You can maybe find them in the refrigerators, but you're not going to get one that's been in a really 33 degree, soda machine, Man, those are the best ones. Just enough above freezing that it was really, really cold, but every now and then you get like the slush in there and on top. Oh, the soda slush is the best on top. Yeah. I don't know. You guys like the slush part?
Yes. Sorry, my thing went unmute. Yeah. Like the slush at the very top was like super hot day and that was where it was at. I was so like good. That's like some good childhood memories.
Defense Dad said, would Colombian Coke still have the cocaine in it then? Probably.
Want me to ask Omar tomorrow?
Yeah, right. Makes sense. Home Depot would have Mexican Coke. That's funny. Well done, Weston. Well done. Well done. Roll Call says, we have an old school root beer stand here that they make their own and they have food. That would be amazing. Jones Green Apple Soda is one of your favorites. I've never even heard of that, much less if I had, I probably wouldn't try a green apple soda. Have you guys heard of this or tried it?
Dude, Jones has a lot of stuff. Sodas are pretty good.
I guess I've never heard of Jones.
I would probably try one.
And Snob only lives like 4 hours from me, so I don't know why I hadn't heard of it.
I'll tell you, it makes all kinds of different flavors.
So we went, I don't remember when it was. I don't remember if it was my wife's birthday this year or what it was, but we went over to Shreveport Bossier, went over to the boardwalk, right? It's one of our places to go, and they've got a candy store in there that's absolutely off the chain, from old school candy to you name it. And the amount of glass bottle drinks that they had in there is
oh, really?
I mean, I bet you they have to have 500 different brands and flavors.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would be willing to bet that one he's talking about, I'd be willing to bet it's in there. So I may have to try that just to try it. But yeah, it's like it's amazing. The old school candy, right? Like legit candy
Oh yeah,
cigarettes.
like
And
the
just,
salt, and like the
yeah.
saltwater taffy, like the real
Oh
saltwater
yeah.
taffy and stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, grandma and grandpa type candy and
Mhm.
just, yeah. And they got modern candies and stuff too. And candies from
Mm.
around the world and things. I mean, it's an amazing place. And I can't remember the
Yeah.
name of it. I'm sure they've got them elsewhere. But yeah, when Snob said that, it's like, it seems like I remember maybe seeing something like that there. Because it's
I've never
crazy
seen, I've never heard of Jones. Yeah.
the amount of bottled drinks they got and they're all glass bottle. And it's just different brands.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at.
Different
That's
brands,
awesome.
different flavors. They're all different kinds of sodas or whatever, right? Or root beers
Yeah.
or whatever. It's
So
awesome.
I've only been to the one Bucky's that you and I went to. I think it was in Birmingham or just outside of Birmingham, was it not? I think it was outside of Birmingham.
Yeah, that was
somewhere in
outside. That's
Alabama.
between Birmingham and Talladega. Yeah.
Okay, that's the only Bucky's I've ever been to, and I was in there, and I was on a mission looking for something very specific. Bucky's, and you correct me if I'm wrong, both of you, because you guys are both veterans of Bucky's. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if it is, but Bucky's seems like the kind of place that would have a large selection of like glass bottled sodas of some sort. It just seems like Bucky's is kind of like that kind of place. Do they have?
Nah.
Don't really. They're missing out on that. I think they would. I think they'd be popular
They
there.
probably should. Yeah, they've
That's
got now their candy is pretty off the chain. It's sort of like old school candy type stuff.
Jerky's, their jerky's pretty damn
and their
good.
jerky
the walls
is
of
too.
jerky's where it's at.
Oh,
But no,
man.
you would think that would be a place that like glass bottle randomness would
Yeah.
thrive.
You would think that Bucky's would like, man, they would. Yeah.
I
do you
got a
think?
feeling it might be I got a feeling it might be the glass bottle, but I think all of their salsas and stuff like that are all glass bottles. So that should
Oh
be
yeah,
it.
because I bought all the crazy hot sauces.
Yeah.
That's all glass bottles.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about over in Oklahoma City. They're talking about a place called Pops. I never heard of it, but I'll go check that out.
Nice.
Steve's out there with Mr. Big Kid. What's up, homie? Now Defense Dad says if I buy soda for the house, it's usually ginger ale. I love ginger ale, but let me give you something out there, guys. If you're ginger ale fans, it doesn't matter if you're trying to lose weight or not. I'm not lying to you when I say this. The Canada Dry Ginger Ale Zero, or the Diet Ginger Ale, whatever they call it now, is better than the original ginger ale. It's a better ginger ale, and it's amazing. But it's like I think it's called Ginger Ale Zero now. It still might be called Diet Ginger Ale, but it's a Canada Dry brand. It's better than the regular. Now, Seagram's has a really good ginger ale also, but I'm more of a Canada Dry. But that Canada Dry Ginger Ale Zero or Diet is the bomb. It's really good. I'm a big ginger ale fan. I will say that. Let's see here. There's a place called Pops in Oklahoma. Okay. Gary said brisket everywhere. Does that mean? Oh, I think he's talking about Bucky's. Yeah, I mean the barbecue in general, whether it's brisket or what. There's barbecue. I was impressed with
So
Bucky's.
my wife, and somebody had asked this, and we talked about it before. My go-to is the pulled pork there, but my wife had, and bless her heart, she went. She had a meeting or a training or something like Thursday, and so on her way home Thursday evening, she drove by a Bucky's, and props because she did think about me, even though she couldn't remember what I normally got. She brought me 3 different sandwiches. She brought me she bought me the sliced brisket, which isn't it.
Okay.
Again, it's the pulled pork, it's my go-to, but she bought me the sliced brisket, the turkey, and the chopped beef. And I ate the chopped beef. Actually, I ate the chopped beef and the turkey. And it's better than I remember it being. So I think maybe they changed something up on the brisket because, I used to get the brisket and I switched to the pulled pork. It seemed like it was better, but that was a good sandwich.
So when I was there, I got 2 different things. I got the brisket sandwich. I'm a brisket guy. When people say barbecue And if you hear me say barbecue, it means brisket, by the way. I'll call pulled pork. But if you see me, hey, let's get some barbecue, I mean, I'm looking for some brisket because I love brisket. Their brisket, I got a brisket sandwich from Bucky's, and it was good. And the second thing I got, if you remember, they were making them that you could choose. I got the pulled pork breakfast burrito. Remember that? They were making a bunch of breakfast burritos there, and I got a pulled pork breakfast burrito, and that might have been better than the brisket sandwich.
I got the brisket breakfast burrito. I got the
I got the brisket sandwich, and it was great. But I think the pulled pork breakfast burrito was maybe better.
I still think my go-to is still going to be the pulled pork there. But I wouldn't say no to the chopped brisket for sure.
Yeah. Now I might next time I'm at one, I might get the pulled pork sandwich and the brisket breakfast burrito, because a couple of people are out there saying the brisket breakfast burrito is pretty damn good. So I might have to try the brisket burrito and the pulled pork sandwich next time I'm at Bucky's.
I was gonna say the pulled pork sandwich, if you it's like lunchtime or whatever, is my go-to. Breakfast, it's the brisket burrito, hands down, and then the sausage biscuit. They do like the smoked sausage in a biscuit. Oh yeah. Because
I got the brisket sandwich, the breakfast burrito. It was a pulled pork, so good. And then I got like 3 different bags of jerky to try different flavors. I think I can't remember. I got the mesquite one. I got a smoked one. I got, what was that pepper one you want me to get? It's like it's the pepper one that was. You said to try. All of them are amazing. I love jerky.
I don't remember.
It was one of the pepper ones. But I got mesquite and smoked, which are my kind of go-to. I love mesquite and smoked jerky. But you also told me to get this pepper one. It was pretty good. All 3 of them were. I recommend Bucky's. I'm not a Bucky's fanboy as much as some other people, but I will say I've only been there once, and I will say that it's a pretty awesome store, and everything that I've had food-wise from them has been amazing. So I'm going to say a Bucky's is pretty good. Now Snob says the little jalapeno poppers at Bucky's sell in the freezer are great, and they have a shrimp in them. I like to pack it, cook at home. And P&W have up there in the Pacific Northwest. He says we are Bucky's deprived up here. I didn't know they had kolaches or kolaches, whatever how you say that, but those little basically they're basically croissants with a
big pig in a blanket.
big pig in a blanket, but they're amazing. I didn't know they had kolaches.
One of my wife's.
I had no idea.
They do.
That's about to go down.
It's getting ready to get dangerous when we're in Birmingham.
That is over there. The kolaches are over there with the pastries and all of that, where you pick up your special orders if you order from the kiosk.
Oh yeah.
They're over there with that. Yeah, my wife's go
from the kiosk, or is it just in the?
No. You can just go over there and get one. Yeah, you just go and tell them that's what you want.
All right.
My wife's go to is their cinnamon rolls over there. That's one of her go-tos.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, and the fudge, but both of those. She's really into the. They got a ton of fudge. Like if you like fudge, I'm not a big fan of fudge, but
no, I don't do anything for me. My wife does. But.
When I was just in Fort Worth, like we had some kolaches from like the Czech stop, and boy, I was ready to hurt somebody for more of those. That stuff was legit.
We've got. It used to be Daylight Donuts, and it's no longer Daylight. I think they just made it their own individual, like privately owned, not part of a franchise or anything. And they've got kolaches, the regular ones, and they've also got one that's got like a little bit of jalapeno in it, just a little bit, like not enough that it's like to overpower you, but like enough for the flavor. Because I'm not a big jalapeno fan.
Jalapeno and cheese, or just okay,
yeah, jalapeno and cheese. And like I said, I'm not a big jalapeno fan, but it's enough just to make it taste. I mean, and those are
got a little more flavor to it. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, I like those.
So good, so good.
I had one here last month. We were there that was like jalapeno cheddar and smoked sausage.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It was so damn good.
They're talking about at Bucky's the cashews and the beaver nuts
Oh yeah.
Ever seen the beaver?
Beaver
Yeah,
nuggets.
I love cashews. I might have to go get some cashews. Next time.
Once upon a time they only had one flavor of beaver nuggets, and now they have a whole freaking line. They even
So
got
what's a
their own.
beaver nugget?
They
Like,
even
what are
got their
beaver
own.
nuggets?
They even got their own Bucky's potato chips and stuff now. It's like
Like,
wow.
what are they? Like, are they when you say beaver
So
nuggets?
so the original beaver nuggets to me taste like a big corn pop or a big sugar smack, maybe almost.
Okay.
Help me
Okay.
out here, Chase.
Bad dude.
Help me out here, Chase. You've probably had them. You've had the beaver nuggets.
Yeah,
haven't
it's
you?
like a like you know
It's
like
like a
the-
cereal. It literally tastes like
the
a cereal.
Pops. Remember Pops cereal? It's like one of those,
Yeah.
just bigger.
Really?
And then there's
I know.
yeah.
I get what Clover's trying to explain. It's what it
All
is.
right, I'm gonna have to exact. I'm not picturing this properly in my mind. I don't think.
Well, it doesn't
so I'm
look
gonna go
like
ahead
it. It
and-
looks like a puffed Cheeto. It looks like a really short puffed Cheeto. Is kind of what it looks
What
like.
I'm
Yeah,
asking
it's
you
like
is,
a
what
Cheeto.
is it though? What is it actually?
Oh, I don't know. It's like some
like-
kind of a.
Oh, okay.
It's like
I think
the
it's-
Pops cereal, just bigger, basically.
Yeah, I think it's
Really?
made out of corn. I think it's some kind of a corn
Okay, it
product.
does look like corn pops. It literally looks
Because, and I say
corn
that
pop.
because now they've got the cheddar cheese, the white cheddar, the jalapeno. They got some
Okay,
different
gotcha.
flavors now.
Yeah, like between
But
like
the
that, they got, like,
original,
like. Okay, they're
originals are-
sweet
taste like
corn
a-
puffs is what they're calling. They're
Right, there
basically
you go.
sweet corn puffs.
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, let's do the first of all. I do like corn pops, which I love. Man, I didn't know those were the thing. I had never seen those. I mean, once again, I've only been to one Bucky's, and
They're good.
we
They're
you know
good.
we weren't
Not my favorite.
walking around. Remember, Clover? We were just walking around. Like we weren't walking. We were going. Like I was going to barbecue and the jerky. You know, I wasn't going to sit there for an hour and a half. I think next time I might have to. But
Right,
they're saying it's
yeah.
pretty good.
Go in there with a 5-year-old. You'll be there for 2 hours.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, they got so much cool stuff. I mean, right? The toy section is pretty awesome.
Candy
They've got an-
pecans.
They've got an outdoor section even that's got gun related stuff in it. Fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Like
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got a bunch of they've got gun kind of stuff, fishing stuff, like outdoor clothing, like all kinds of camping stuff, all kinds of crap. My kid's got a Bucky swimsuit, for God's sakes.
Defense Desk says, "Man, I made a great dinner, but this is making me hungry."
Yeah, me too.
These-
I just
Oh, I'm
was-
going to go eat here in a minute. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
right. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Not that there's
Cheese
anything wrong with
puffs.
that.
Now, there's anything wrong with that. You want to be my latex salesman?
Nobody under 30 gets this.
No,
Oh, wow.
absolutely nobody gets this. But if you're over 30, you're rolling right now.
And if you get it,
could be
if
my
you get
latex
it,
salesman.
if you get it, here's a challenge. Drop another one-liner out there in the live
Yeah,
chat.
there you
if
go.
get it.
There you go. Absolutely. Or in a comment if you're watching a replay or listening to podcast.
Yeah. put
Drop
down
if you
below.
made it this far. Drop another one-liner in the comments section.
All right.
I'll you know what? The one that comes up with the best one, I'll send you something. How about that? I'll send you something if you're in a comment.
G23 out there is talking to P&W, and he says that they need to go to Wanamaker. Well, I agree you need to go to Wanamaker. And he
Well,
says we can
yes,
stop by
absolutely.
at Bucky's. So I don't
Where's
think
the
there's going
Bucky's
to be
around Wanamaker?
I don't think there's going to be any Bucky's in between you guys, the Pacific Northwest, and Wanamaker.
Is there one? Is there one in Oklahoma at all? Like Snob, do you
No.
know of any in Oklahoma? Okay.
I don't think there is, and you would have to come down into Texas for that. So you'd have to detour several
Yeah.
hours.
You have to live in the actual Southeast in God's country where it matters.
I mean, like for some people, like
I guess you could fly. I
like,
guess you
a
could fly to
couple hours
DFW
well, you couldn't drive, sure.
and then rent a car and then drive up to Tulsa.
Oh,
and then you could do it.
Snob says they're building a Bucky's in Springfield, Missouri. That's only a few
Oh.
hours away. Now that's
Well, there you
interesting.
go. There you go.
So we go to Branson quite a bit, and it's only about 45 minutes or so north of Branson. So it might be worth it. I didn't know that. He said, no, right now our closest one is Melissa. I don't know where Melissa is. Is that
Yeah,
don't
Bucky's
know,
builds their
Missouri
stores
or-
in like weird small towns for some reason.
okay? So Bucky's is pretty cool. Now there is the world's largest truck stop. It's like in Iowa or something. Have y'all ever seen or heard or been to this place? Apparently, this thing is like massive, like massive.
I've heard about it.
People say it's awesome to go
I've
to.
seen pictures and videos of it. I've never been there. I've got friends that have, and they say it's just like insanity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I just seen. I have never been there, but the pictures. I mean, this thing, like, it's amazing. Like they say that they have like a full theater, like not like just. I mean, a full theater in this place, and I mean, it's crazy. He says it's north of McKinney. No kidding.
Iowa
Never heard
80.
of it. It probably didn't. That's it. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
Melissa probably didn't exist when I left Plano. There's a lot of towns that didn't exist when I left that are huge now, but yeah. Gary's been to the world's largest truck stop. Gary says even Donald would say it's huge. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go up to.
Well, that's one thing about Bucky's. Like most truckers do not like Bucky's, man. They hate.
Oh, really? Why
You
is he like tourists and all that?
They don't allow truckers. They don't allow big trucks at Bucky's.
Yeah,
oh, I thought it was a truck stop.
No, you can bring like
No.
you can bring like an RV through there, or like you're pulling like a
But
boat
not
or
an
something
18-wheeler or
like that, but
anything.
not an actual semi. No.
Nope.
Really? I didn't know that. I assumed that it was a big ass truck stop, is what I thought.
Nope.
So it's a tourist thing.
Yeah, it's a family show.
It's a travel center. It's a family travel center, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yep. And they also talking about bringing campers and stuff. I've seen several YouTube channels that they travel. That's what they do. And so they've stopped at Bucky's and they tried to pull the G-webs and like camp. And I mean, they literally, their security, if a vehicle's there for very long, it's like, hey, get out of here. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's interesting. I didn't know that they don't allow trucks. Yeah. And I could see. Oh, and they are open 24 hours though, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense. They don't want campers hanging out in the parking lot. I mean, I get that,
Well, I mean, it's possible. I'm not going to say, I mean, I know that's their quote unquote policy, but I mean, it's possible that, if you were coming through and you needed to crash for a little while, if you've got a manager, whatever, especially if you were buying stuff there.
On a Tuesday night, maybe they would let you stick around
if
for a little bit.
If it was thin and it wasn't packed and it was during the week, you know what I mean? And you just let them know that, hey, we're tired. Can we crash? And you bought a bunch of food before you did and that sort of stuff. If you're just pulling in there just to stay, that's different than, hey, I'm also a paying customer. I bought a bunch of stuff.
Right.
So
right.
I think one of the channels.
I want to buy the food and drinks that I'm going to eat tonight from you.
I think one of the channels did that. As a matter of fact, I think if I remember correctly, I think they went in there and said, "Hey, we'll buy our dinner here.
Can we stay for a couple hours
and sleep, and then we'll buy breakfast here as well if you'll just let us sleep
for
a few hours." And they were like, "Oh yeah, it's yeah, yeah." And there was, you could tell there wasn't a lot of people
there and ask and all that. But if you just go in the parking lot without asking and all of that, and they don't know,
right? Yeah, they don't know what's up.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't know what the hell you're doing over there,
Yeah.
Snob, I got your text, Snob, so I'll look at that after the show for sure.
That's a lot of
John
things.
out there. Oh, go ahead. What's that? Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's a lot of things with policy is one thing, but then if you actually talk to somebody or whatever, a lot of times,
be a little considerate and absolutely be nice about it. Yeah. Now John says the Bucky's in Missouri is going to have 100 pumps and you can't fit trucks in there. I don't care. I'm not a trucker, but he's like, it's going to have 100 pumps and you can't fit trucks in there. I don't think it's a matter of fitting trucks in there. I just don't think they want trucks in there.
Right. They don't want.
I don't know. You have to answer that, Clover. Is that or Chase? I don't know. I've never.
Yeah, I think
it's
not that kind of. So there's already like a jillion truck stops, right?
Right. Sure.
So like
America's Travel Center, Loves, and all of those.
They never were.
$20 is $20.
Yeah, they never were that way. They don't have any of the infrastructure for trucks, for big trucks, right? They don't have any of that infrastructure as far as parking area. They don't build all that. How many cars can you park in a space right? And then also because it's kind of a family place, it's almost like an attraction. So you have kids, and they're concerned with the big trucks in and out, backing over somebody,
I get
accidents,
that.
things.
No, I
You know,
get it.
there's a lot of
I just never
concerns
heard
I've
that.
heard over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard over the years. It's not that they hate truckers. They did not set out to be a truck stop. That's not the point. And they never have built themselves as such either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, Snob said, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say they don't have a problem staying busy as it is. It could be smaller Buckies with 60 points. It could be a bigger Buckies with 100 plus. They're always full.
Oh yeah,
That's all.
That's what Snob says. I've never been to a Bucky that you could fit a semi in the parking lot because they're always so packed.
It's usually also one of the cheaper priced gases out on the road as well. Because think of the volume. I mean, they're able to do that with the sheer volume.
Oh yeah.
When Joe really started helping us out here a lot recently, they were routinely 10 to 15 cents a gallon cheaper than everybody else around them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand, and I don't know this to be true, but I hear from a source that's in the gas business, December is going to be brutal for gas prices. They're talking about going back another 50, 75 cents before the end of the year.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. They'll holler winter blend. Oh, we got to change to the winter blend.
I mean, especially with the Europe fuel crisis coming.
That's what he says is actually going to be the actual cause of it. They said it could be here by Christmas. You know,
I mean the green people are losing their minds right now because Germany's cutting everything down to stack firewood because they know the Russian oil is not coming.
Yep. Tracy, now Snob says truckers aren't going to spend the money that the tourists are. And I guess, Chase, I mean, I think to a certain extent they're not going to buy as much stuff as the tourists, but I will say that truckers end up buying usually more expensive stuff than probably the tourists are because they're not buying they're not buying stuff just for like the next 3 hours till the next truck stop. They're buying for like 18 hours because when they fill up their trucks, they're not stopping for like another 12 hours, so they probably buy more at the same time than a tourist would, don't you think?
I mean, they buy for the long haul, so to speak. I mean, obviously they're buying fuel at a higher rate. But
they're also going to feed themselves. They're not going to stop for 12 hours if they can. They're going to go. They're
going to run as long as that logbook or their bladder will let them.
Exactly.
But they're not going to buy all the touristy trap stuff that everybody else is going to buy.
They're not buying the T-shirts and the hats and they're not buying the T-shirts and hats and the merch and all that.
No, I mean, Bucky doesn't sell like all the random truck accessories that all the other truck stops do. So it's kind of a trade-off. Like Bucky's is aimed at the touring public, basically the traveling.
And I didn't know that. Like I just assumed, like I've been to one, and I just assumed it was just a big ass truck stop that has turned into this tourist thing. I thought it started as a truck stop that turned into this thing. I didn't realize that it started as this thing, John Z says he has gas near him under $3. Wow. I don't know. I haven't seen $2 and something cents in a while. So yeah.
I haven't seen nothing since the election results.
Right. No, like legitimately. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. All right. 2 hours and we didn't talk shit about really guns a whole lot, and that's okay. I'll change the title of this one. We might talk about we did talk about some of the better guns that we appreciate. Maybe we might revisit the best guns or handguns ever at a later date and all that. But this was fun. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I don't know about you guys. All of this,
I am now for sure.
Made my ass hungry.
Right.
I wasn't hungry, but we screwed all that up for all of us.
There are people that have already had dinner that are re-hungry again.
Yep.
So you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad we could help. Before we get out of here, I do want to let Chase. I know you guys have some there are some things you can talk about, some things you can't. I know there's some amazing things coming down the line from EAA, but right now, besides the P35 line, what else you guys have that you're pushing right now, or is there anything upcoming that you can talk about publicly?
Well, outside the P35 line, I can't speak too much to that right at the moment, but
Right. Okay.
there's a couple things coming very soon that are pretty slick.
Yeah.
Really cool. P35 line, we do have the PI, basically the detective model, will be coming out here soon, and so will the enhanced guns, the match and the ops, like with optic.
So that'll give you what, 5 different models here? The P35, then you have the match, the ops, the PI, and the enhanced. You've got 5, 6.
You'll have 6 standard guns, and there's another 6 or 7 special makeups, special guns for different distributors coming as well.
John says, I just had a stick because you guys made me hungry earlier. We're glad we could help you out there, John.
That's what we do. We're here to serve.
That's right. That's right. I'm really excited about some things coming down the line. I'm just going to say I cannot wait for range day. I'm just saying I can't wait for range day.
I will say anybody, I know several guys on here will have the opportunity. Trust me, come by at range day, because there's going to be some really cool stuff you're not expecting at range day.
Yep. Anything else you want to touch on that we've talked about or bring up, or anything with maybe not Gerson, any other companies that you guys are working with and all? Anything else for EAA that you want to bring up?
I mean, nothing too crazy right now. Like, we'll get into it here soon of some of the new stuff and things we're doing, when I can talk a little more freely about that stuff. Just as soon to say, in the next few months, EAA, not just the Gerson brand, but EAA in general, has got some cool stuff coming. Yeah, there's about to be some, I hate the phrase game changer, but there's going to be some,
and there's going to be some companies that are freaking pissed at your ass.
What else is new? What else is new?
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
I enjoy the hate so much. It's fun.
You're getting ready to get it then. I mean, you're really going to enjoy the next few months, I think.
I mean, just wait. That's what we need to do. I need, when we get off this, we need to have a talk, like, so your next poll, because that'll help one of the things I'm talking about. We'll talk later.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll definitely do that. Judas out there is a great show. Hey, thanks for coming back to the show. Or I appreciate it. I hope you guys had fun. Once again, if you came here looking for a gun show, I mean, it is what it is. We like to have fun. Once again, this conversation is very much like a conversation the three of us have a lot, where obviously we know each other because of guns. We wouldn't have met each other because of guns, but very little of our actual conversations involve guns. This is a conversations that we would have generally in our lives, and we just decided to go live with it. And we talk guns, but guns are not the end all be on our lives. We will talk about it, but there are so many things in our lives: movie, music, food. I mean, I can turn any chat into a food chat if I wanted to. It doesn't take long. I could turn any chat into a movie or music chat. It doesn't take long,
100%. We could have the rabbit hole fast.
Yeah. Now, Snob says it seems like all gun guys like food more. I think I would say that I like food more than guns. I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Food's life.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. Clover, I eventually Clover's going to put some content out. He doesn't do shit. I think he sleeps till about 11 o'clock every day. If you were to do something, what would that be?
Well, I'll definitely have to get up.
I would say go check out Clover Tack, but I mean, shit,
I'll definitely got to get up earlier than 11 o'clock tomorrow. I got Brianna with Umarex in the house.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah. What time is that going to be?
I think maybe 11 Eastern, I think.
Okay, well, you definitely need to wake up before 11 because
I
that's
know,
10
right?
Central. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I got to get everything set up. And then Thursday I've got she fires in the house, so
Oh, nice,
I got
nice.
back to back chicks this week. That'll be awesome.
Nice.
Don't get the females on the podcast too often, so that's kind of cool.
You're not gonna lie, Clover. You kind of freak the females out. Just saying, you kind of freak
Probably,
them out with the
probably,
yellow glasses and the long beard. I mean, it's kind of creepy.
probably.
I'm just joking.
Probably
Just
so.
joking.
Probably right. You're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
wonder
have
how
a.
you see out of those every day after the ones I tried on. How do you do that?
How do I do what?
See out of the yellow glasses every day.
I don't know. I don't.
I-
He
the
said it
ones
makes
I
him feel
tried
better.
killed my
I
head.
can't do it.
Which ones
I
did you
did see.
try?
I did see. Oh, did you? Oh, no. You didn't see the text. Go check out his text.
I did. Were those actual? Were those Hunters HD Golds?
No, those
no.
are not 100 HD Gold.
Oh.
Those are like some, like,
Those are probably gas
Just
station.
has
Those
seen
are
on
Bucky's
TV.
brand.
Okay, so first of all, before you talk smack about how I can see out of them, you might want to learn a little something about Hunters HD Gold because they're not just yellow tinted cheap glasses at the truck stop. So, but
no, I mean those are legit glasses. The 100 HDs. Like I used to have to sell because you had to as part of the deal. Like the Zeiss like shooting glasses are like $300.
Yeah.
It was the old man crazy 80s orange. They actually do. You see really well in them. They just look super goofy.
You know, I don't like even in any way. Like I don't like yellow shooting glasses. I'll wear clear before I wear yellow. But we were at, I think it was the Gathering, maybe, wasn't it, Clover? You brought me into their trailer, and they had like these lavender ones or something.
So they got the Hunters HD Ruby, yeah, but Hunters HD Ruby are not good for a lot of different things too.
No. But I don't know if it was Ruby or it was some purple. It was something
That's
different.
That's the Ruby.
Okay.
The only thing they got.
Now, I would shoot with them, but when I put them on, like it looked awesome to look through them. I wouldn't shoot with them on, but like it made shit pop that usually pop. You know, those are pretty cool.
The problem with those are made for shotgunning, right? So they mute greens. And that's one of the big problems with trying to wear those like every day.
Right.
They mute greens. So things are going to look
Ozzy says
weird.
For some of us, round is a body type. I resemble that comment.
Yeah.
Not Som says Hunter's HD Gold fixes all your problems from shooting to your love life. Clover Tack. I would say Clover Tack approved for sure. Now, Gary brings up a point. He says, when we plan for a shot, we spend as much time figuring out where we're going to eat as we do figuring out what boost. We spend more time. As a matter of fact, we've already had discussions on, we have a place we go every Sunday night. No, Gary and Snob and Sarge and Obnoxious, they come with us. We go out to dinner every Sunday night. So they're usually part of that. We have a specific place that we go to. I hope they're open again this year. And then now we have a guaranteed Thursday night place we went to last year that we'll go to every Thursday night. So now we need to find a Saturday and a Monday. No, I don't forget about that place. Chase might have to go with us to that one. But we were on the phone. Chase and I were talking, and Clover, just a few days ago, talking about like Chase and I, and Clover's obviously, welcome to go and all that. But Chase and I are going to go and eat at Hell's Kitchen, one of Gordon Ramsay's restaurants, while we're there one night. And the problem with Chase is Chase actually has to work like at night. Like he's got the big dogs that he's got to take out. But I mean, for sure that when you go to shot, like, there is more discussion, at least in our discussion, and I'm sure Gary and Snob and Obnoxious and Sarge are the same way. There is much more discussion and excitement about where we're going to eat that week than, hey, what booze are we going to go to?
Probably be some Genghis after range day.
We always go to Genghis on Sunday, or I'm sorry, on Monday. After range day. Yes. Sunday is our spot that we don't talk about, that we have usually about 10 or 12 people. Hope they're open again this year. We usually have a bunch of people that meet on Sunday night, and that's kind of the first time we see everybody. Monday is Genghis. What's that?
We don't talk about Thursday.
We don't talk about Thursday
But
or Sunday.
we also plan lunch in the food court one day.
You and I always have. Usually it's Friday. Usually, or Thursday. No, it's usually Thursday for lunch because I leave Friday around lunchtime. And maybe it's Friday. I can't remember. But yeah, you and I always have lunch in the food court once a week. Absolutely. Yep. Obnoxious, man. They're just ripping you on emails, bro. Like absolutely just destroying you on emails.
I know. That's what I said. Everybody literally just call me because my mailbox is such a fucking disaster right now. It's not close. Like
you've been a little busy. You've been just a little busy the last month or two,
especially the last month and a half. Oh my god! Like if people saw the amount of emails sitting in my shit right now.
He actually had to run. He actually had to run the whole thing like last week.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he was the man for a few days.
Yeah, he should have sent us out like 15 guns apiece that week.
I don't know what the problem was. He had the power.
He had the power. He had the power.
Yeah, he had the power of Grayskull. I mean, and he didn't do anything with it.
Well, I mean, trust me, the ones you want aren't there yet.
I understand.
And the one that definitely Clover needs to do because it's compact for obvious reasons.
And he's a compact guy, you know.
Yeah,
he's a fucking leprechaun. Yeah, no, nobody caught the power of Grayskull comment. No,
I sure did. Come on now.
Okay. Most people aren't going to know what that means, but if you do, you know.
Nobody caught all the one-liner references either. I never.
No, they didn't. I didn't see one fucking reference in the chat from what we were talking about.
Nothing.
Not one. Now it'll be interesting the next few days to see if we get on the podcast side and in the replay if we get any comments with the one-liners. And if you're out there and you got 2 hours and 15 minutes into this shit, first of all, you're stupid, but thank you. Second of all, if you got the power of Grayskull line, let me know what that is, and I might send you something as well. But yeah,
if you got through 2 hours and 15 minutes of this and you haven't eaten, I super apologize.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you could. Honestly, God, I don't know. Especially in replay or in podcast form, I don't think you could listen to this without at least getting a snack of some sort. You know what I'm saying?
Pause it, go get something, and come back.
There's no way you can do it. Yeah. There's no way. It's kind of like that steak in Amarillo, the 72-ounce steak. You can't finish it. You're going to try, but you can't do it. You can't finish this podcast without getting a snack of some sort.
The old 96er.
Is it 96? Is that what it is?
That was the Great Outdoors, like because you love
it. The one in Amarillo, I think it's 72. Yeah,
72. Yeah.
I tried it and it didn't work out well for me.
No, I was making an Aykroyd reference because you love him so much.
Oh, I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Was it him and John Candy? Yeah.
Oh, now I do love me some John Candy.
Yep, that was the old 96.
Plane, Trains, and Automobiles might be one of the greatest movies ever. Just a great movie. But yeah, even the part that John Candy played in Home Alone, people forget that John Candy was in Home Alone.
Man, he's the polka king.
He's the polka king, but just the because he wasn't trying to be the star, but he's everything that he does, he ends up stealing the scene, you know. P&W was I went out to get burgers and came back.
Love it.
Get out the guns. I've been here for 10 minutes and eat a snack already. Duncan says only been here for 0 minutes or so. The bowl of ice cream was very good. Big bowl felt like Key-Man lifting. Hey, you got it. Yeah. So yeah. G23s, I have gotten a snack during this show, so I guess I could eat a 72-ounce steak. So he hasn't gotten a snack. What's wrong with you, man? I'm getting ready to go get a snack. I'm actually going to go eat. So guys, once again, 2 hours and 18 minutes of this crap. Thank you guys for watching. It was a blast. Absolutely had a blast with this one. Thanks to Chase and for Clover. Go check out Clover Tack. He's everywhere. Like legitimate. Just go to clovertack.com. And if you're not amazed at the sheer number of links that are available to find him on social media, just go to clovertack.com and just enjoy the madness of links. Go check out eaacorp.com. eaacorp.com. All of the, not just Gerson, but all of the shotguns, everything they've got over there. And they've got some amazing things coming. I think Saturday's video drop is going to be the 500 round review of the P35. Finally got to the range and all that. Saturday's drop will be the 500 round review of the P35. So looking forward to getting that out and all of that. But thank you, Chase. Thank you, Clover, for joining us. I'm going to get the hell out of here and go get something to eat. So peace out.